collecting antique bottles and vintage bottles as long as I've been collecting Indian artifacts, maybe even a little bit longer. But, you know, my favorite era in bottles, which is probably kind of sounds odd to maybe some people, are the 1940s and 1950s. Times were changing, styles were changing. These bottles showed a modernistic design compared to what we saw in the 30s and 20s and the Edwardian and Victorian eras. These were stylized, but they were, as I said, a more modernistic design. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite ones that I've dug up and talk to you a little bit about them. I don't recognize all the products, but I do recognize some of them. So let's take a look, okay? Now here's an overview of a selection of a few of the pieces from my 1940s and 50s collection. And as you can tell, there's quite a variety of bottle types. And so let's take a look at some individual ones that you might recognize, like this one back here. This beautiful green, emerald green bottle was for sunshine prune juice. And I believe this was 40s and 50s. It's got the ribbed design, which was so popular during that era. A very beautiful bottle that I dug up, that Gil and I dug up over at a dump site that we go to, that we have found some pretty awesome bottles in. Now also, the shape of this one, I'm not sure what was in this one. It could have been another juice type product, I don't know. But the overall design of it is pleasing to the eye, would look nice on the shelf, and appeal to, at that time, the woman who took care of the cooking and such needs. The design, I think, would have appealed to her. Now, here's one that's a mystery to me. As you can see, it's quite tall. It has flowers embossed on the glass. It is a screw cap. I do not know what was in this product. It looks definitely 1940s, 1950s. Now, there's nothing to identify it by. There's nothing on the bottom, but it is a beautiful piece. And that piece, I didn't dig up. I forget where I got that. Anyways, now back here, this is another product that you might recognize. I do, because my mom and sister used it in a bottle very similar to this. This would have been Jergens hand lotion, I believe. And it's got a nice brown plastic top. And then I'm thinking this is something like an Airwick air freshener product. It's in the form of a pine tree, which is a nice design. And then there's a little one here, similar design, probably from the same company, I would think. And then over here, this was a dish soap. I'm not sure what type, but this was for dish soap. Yeah, it used to come in glass, folks. Glad it doesn't anymore. This was also dish soap. I featured this in my Can You Tell Me What It Is video, the last one I did. And this was Joy dishwashing liquid. It has the ribbing on it, which so many bottles of that era do. Actually, that was for a purpose, though. On the dishwashing soap, this one, it would give you better hold of the bottle so that you wouldn't it wouldn't slip out of your hand so easily and smash on the floor. This is a fairly common looking bottle, but it still has a nice design to it, and it has these raised diamonds around the top and around the bottom. So that's a pretty cool one too. And I showed you that one. So let's come back down here. We have some pretty neat stuff here. These bulkier bottles like this, I believe, were hair tonic for men, or cologne. You know, it's a more masculine, heavy type design. And I would say the same about this one. This one, I believe, I would call it an Empire State Building type design. It has that kind of look to it to me, with the way the sides are. Just a really awesome bottle, and again, I think that's from you know, male-oriented product. This one, not a clue the product that was in it. If you know, let me know. It's got ribbing, and this side has ribbing all the way around it, and And this one has ribbing around it except for this area here, which a label would have been attached to. Another one that displays the ribbing and the place for the label. Now this is a shaker top bottle, by the way. And again, I think that's a men's product. That would probably have been a cologne. This one is a shaker top bottle also that I just showed you a minute ago, as well as the big bulky one here. Back here, this is a familiar bottle to me, but I'm not sure what it was. I think it might have been a flavoring like vanilla or something like that, and it has the ribbing on the bottom of it, or the base of it. It's another nicely stylized bottle. And this one, unique. I could picture this holding some kind of like maybe oil, like olive oil or something of that nature, but a really cool bottle, really cool one. Then Vitalis hair cream. I don't know if that's made anymore, but here's a Vitalis bottle, 1950s, screw cap plastic with a V on the top and a V embossed on the side. This littler one is also Vitalis, but it does not have the V embossed on the glass as the larger one does. Then over here, Pearl shampoo. I remember it was a beautiful green color, and the bottles back then, the glass bottles, had a pearl that was dropped into each one, and it would show you how long it would take, if you tipped it up, how long the pearl took to get to the top down here and back, to display how thick that shampoo was. I know it was used for a very long time in our house in Bridgeport. We have a little fiddle style bottle, little miniature, and it's pretty cool. I believe that was probably a lady's cologne. And then there's this one, which I don't think is a perfume bottle like the other one was, but I do think this was, again, a flavoring or extract bottle. And lastly, I want to show you this tubby little bottle, and it has ribbing on it too, and it just is a really cool style, and just really cool. So if you want to collect bottles that aren't expensive, but there's a wide variety to choose from, I suggest you look at the 40s and 50s, maybe even the 20s and 30s.